Hello everyone, welcome to another Leetcode video. This is the first in a series of Facebook tagged questions. I'm going to be going through as many questions in the list as possible to try and explain my approach, so stay tuned for more of those. The question we're starting with is insert into a sorted circular linked list. So we're given a linked list represented by a node, and this list is sorted in non-decreasing order. What we want to do is write a function to insert a value called insert value here into the list so that it remains in sorted circular order. So in this example, our list is 1, 3, 4, and back to 1 in that order. So we'd want to insert this value 2 that we're given. So we're not necessarily given the head or the smallest value of this linked list. We're given just any random node. You may have to find where to insert it. If there are multiple places for insertion, we may choose any place to insert the new value as long as it remains in sorted order. And if the list is empty, little edge case here, we should just create a new linked list with that single node, but make sure it's circular and refers back to itself. So the example given is this, with this list of 3, 4, 1. So we're given the node 3 here and want to insert the value 2. So you'll see that we end up inserting this node 2 between 1 and 3 because that's where it naturally lies in sorted order. So even though that we're given the node 3, we have to go around and find the place where to insert it. So this may seem simple, but it's actually a little deceptively tricky and there's a lot of edge cases to consider. So let's dive a bit deeper into this example. So there are actually 4 different cases we have to consider here, and we'll go through each one and see what we want to do. So the first case is that the insert value we're given is within the range between the minimum value and the maximum value of the linked list. So let's say, for example, the value we're trying to insert is 2 in this case. So let's say that we're starting at this value 4. What we can do is have 2 pointers. So one pointer here and one pointer here. What we can do is just go around this list until we find a place where we can insert that 2. So we'd see, okay, our current is 1, our previous is 4. Does 2 fit in that range? No, it does not, so let's just keep going. So we'll move these pointers up. Now our current would be 3, and our previous would be 1. Does 2 fit in here? It does. So at this point, we could just insert this node, and to do that, we'd make a new node here and just connect the next values, and we could return our original head. So that case is fairly simple, but it gets a little more complicated. So let's consider the case where we want to insert a value that's greater than the maximum value that is in the entire list. So let's say we want to insert 6. So here we start with the same thing. We say, okay, so our current node is 1 and our previous is 4. So do we want to insert this value here? Well, actually we do, right? Because what we see is that since 4 is the maximum value that we have in the list, but our value we want to insert is more, we know it has to go after this maximum value. So we're looking for this case where previous dot value is greater than our current, right? In this case, this previous value 4 is greater than here. So we know that this is kind of where the list wraps back around and starts again. So we want to insert that 6 here. Very similar process. We just make a new node, connect the next values, and return our head. Okay, so that's case 2. Now, what do we want to do for case 3? So this is the case where the minimum value, or the value we're inserting, is less than the minimum value in the list. So let's say we're inserting 0 here. So what we want to do, we'll start at 4 again. We'll say, okay, should our value go here? Well, actually we can use the same check as before, because we know that if the value is less than the minimum value in our current list, less than 1, it has to go at this place where the list kind of turns back over and restarts. So for both cases 2 and 3, essentially we want to find where the list restarts. So we see it goes from this maximum node over to the minimum node, and this is the place where we would insert both of these cases. So whenever we have an insert value that's out of the range of the current values of our list, either the value is greater than the max or less than the min, we know we have to insert it at this point where the list ends and restarts. So that's only 3 cases. So what is the 4th case? Well, we can write logic pretty easily to cover these first 3 cases, but there is another case. Let's say we had something like this. We have a node 1, go to node 1, go to node 1, goes to a node 1, goes to a node 1. So you'll see here that we just have all ones in this list, and this is an interesting edge case of this problem that's not specifically mentioned in the description. So what happens if we want to insert 6 here? Well, it's greater than our minimum value, or greater than our maximum value rather, so we know we need to insert it wherever our previous is greater than our current value. But you'll see that that never happens in this list. Same thing for if we were inserting a minimum value. We know it has to be less than our minimum, the same case, but that never happens. So essentially what we can do is write our code to satisfy these 3 cases. And if we go and check all these cases, we go through the whole list and none of these are satisfied, then that means that we have a list that looks like this, where all the values are the same. Because if we didn't, say if we had a 2 here, we know that this list would start over at this point, right? This is our maximum value. This would be our minimum value. So we could insert edge cases 2 and 3 here. But if we never hit one of these, we could pretty safely assume that all these values are the same. So we have to do case 4. And what do we do in case 4? What do we do when these are all the same value? Well, essentially, we can just insert it anywhere. Like we can insert 0 here. Now our list just starts here. We can insert 0 here. Our list just starts here. We can insert it here. So really, all we have to do is just find 2 nodes and insert that value in between them and return our head. So this problem does seem deceptively simple, but there are a lot of edge cases you have to consider when you're implementing this. And the time complexity here is O of n. And it's O of n because we're going through this list at most 1 time. So we could go through until we find our case that we need to insert. Likewise here, what we'd want to do is, say we're starting at this head, we would want to go around, and whenever we get back to this head and we haven't hit one of these 3 conditions, we can just break and know that this list contains all the same value, so we can just insert it anywhere we want. So you know, in the worst case, we're going through all the nodes 1 time, and our time complexity is going to be O of n. So let's hop over into the code and see exactly how this is going to work. So the first thing we do is handle this edge case where we actually don't have any list that we're given. So we just create our new node. This is the node that we're going to insert here and also later on whenever we find the right position. But we're going to check and see if our head is none. We're just going to take this new node and set its next value equal to new node. And what this is doing is making this list circular. So essentially we just have one node that's pointing back on itself. We can just return this, and this will be our new list that we're returning. So now what we're going to do is set up 2 pointers. So our previous pointer is going to be the head that we're given, and our current's going to be the next. And we're going to use these to iterate through our list. We're also going to keep track of an inserted variable, and this tells us if during this while loop, when we're checking for these 3 cases, if we have inserted any node into a valid position. If we don't, then we know that we've hit a different case. So let's just go through this loop and examine what's going on. So this handles 3 cases. So first, this is what we do when the insert value falls within the range of the minimum and maximum. So we could just go around and check if the insert value is greater or than or equal to the previous, but also less than or equal to the current value, then we found this spot. We can set inserted to true, and we can break. And now this handles our second and third cases. So remember, previously we said that either way, if our value is either greater than the maximum or less than the minimum, we want to insert it in the place where the list starts over. And we can check that by saying, have we found a place where our previous is greater than the current? Right? Because what this means is that our previous is greater, we know this list is sorted. So if at any point our previous is greater than the current, we know that our previous is the maximum and the current is the minimum, and we're starting that list over. So now this is case 2. This is saying if the insert value is greater than the previous value, or the insert value is less than the current value. So this is case 2 and case 3. What we do is then just insert that node and we break. And while we're doing this, we're updating our previous and current pointers. And then here is the case where we've gone around this entire list, but we haven't found any place to actually insert that node. So when our previous gets back to the head, remember that our previous started with head, so this essentially goes around the entire list. When we got around the whole list, we just break. So at this point, if we haven't inserted anything, we know that this list is just all a 1 number, and we know that we can just insert that node anywhere that we'd like. So then once we do this, we just return our original head. So let's submit this and make sure that it works. And it does work. So this is a pretty interesting linked list problem. A lot of edge cases to consider. So really make sure you understand this problem and understand the logic of why we're doing this. So stay tuned for more meta tagged and Facebook tagged problems. And hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for watching.